1992 Constitution and Section 21 of the PFM Act. I have the honor and privilege
KOFI Radio, the true radio for the Ghanaian and the Ghanaian abroad.
This address is an abridged version of the full 2026 budget statement and economic policy of government. I respectfully request that the Hansard Department captures the entire budget statement and economic policy of government for the year ending 31st December 2026. Mr. Speaker, I accordingly present the budget statement and economic policy of government for the year ending 31st December 2026. Right Honorable Speaker, again in accordance with law, I will also lay before this House the following statutory reports. The first will be the 2025 annual report on petroleum funds, and the second will be the 2025 annual report on the collection and utilization of the African Union Import Levy, in line with Section 7 of the African Union Levy Act 2017, Act 952. Mr. Speaker, in the course of 2026, and pursuant to Article 36(5), I will cause to be laid before Parliament on behalf of the President a coordinated program of economic and social development policies, including agriculture and industrial program of Ghana. Right Honorable Speaker, I will also present the following bills, regulations, and memoranda for consideration by this House. Speaker, the bills and regulations will be the following: the Value for Money Bill, the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill, the Value Added Tax Bill, the COVID-19 Health Recovery Repeal Bill, the Ghana Education Trust Fund Amendment Bill, the National Insurance Amendment Bill, the Public Procurement Regulation, request for approval for a revised investment policy of the Ghana Petroleum Funds in line with Section 31A of the Petroleum Revenue Management Act, Act 2011, Act 815, and finally a request for approval to implement an AI-powered trade data analytics system to support customs revenue mobilization and enhanced trade facilitation. Mr. Speaker, I stand before this House humbled by the confidence reposed in me by His Excellency the President to deliver his second budget under his reset agenda. Mr. Speaker, when this administration took office, we met an economy in distress, weighed down by debt, weakened by mismanagement, and stripped of confidence. Mr. Speaker, in the 2025 budget, discipline, driven by vision and anchored on shared prosperity. Right Honorable Speaker, having outlined the guiding theme and vision for this budget, I now turn to the state of the Ghanaian economy as at October 2025. Mr. Speaker, and to show where we stand, what we have achieved, and where we are heading. After that, I'll present the policies, priorities, and resource allocation that will drive Ghana's growth, jobs, and economic transformation in 2026 and beyond. Mr. Speaker, at the beginning of the year, we inherited a painful effect of the fiscal slippages of 2024, pressures that weighed heavily on households and businesses and public finances. Mr. Speaker, confidence was fragile, inflation remained elevated, the exchange rate was unstable, and the public debt was elevated. Yet, through visionary leadership, fiscal discipline, and policy consistency, the tide has finally turned. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's economy has now recovered, marked by renewed investor confidence and an improved macroeconomic outlook. Mr. Speaker, I'll now give you real sector performance. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's economy has regained its rhythm. Real GDP expanded by 6.3% in the first half of 2025, up from 5.1% in the same period of 2024, driven by stronger agriculture and service, lower inflation, and renewed business confidence. Non-oil GDP grew by 7.8%, showing that our growth is now powered by domestic production. Mr. Speaker, the service sector remains the heartbeat of recovery, surging 8.8% with ICT up 17.2%, finance and insurance up 9.5%, and education up 14.9%. Agriculture, the backbone of stability, also grew by 6%, doubling that of last year. Mr. Speaker, cocoa rebound from a sharp 21.4%, contracting to 2.8% growth. Mr. Speaker, thanks to the targeted farm support and smarter policies. Industry held steady despite reduced oil output. Manufacturing rose 6.3% and construction 4.0%, reflecting reliable energy and revived infrastructure projects. On the demand side, Right Honorable Speaker, household consumption grew by 8.2%, reflecting stronger household confidence. Government spending also slowed to 3.7%, proving fiscal discipline. The Speaker, export grew 11.5%, led by gold, cocoa, and non-traditional export. This is the growth that creates jobs, lifts incomes, and builds lasting stability. The Speaker, I now take you to price development. Right Honorable Speaker, inflation has fallen faster than anyone imagined, from 23.8% in December 2024 to 8% by October 2025. Ghana is back to a single-digit inflation. This was not by sheer luck. It is the outcome of disciplined fiscal policy, steady monetary management, stable exchange rates, and strong domestic production. Together, these have restored confidence, stabilized the cedi, and eased the pressure on families and businesses. Food inflation reduced from 27.8% to 9.5%. Prices of everyday food such as tomatoes, garden eggs, okra, and fish are finally falling. Mr. Speaker, non-food inflation also dropped from 20.3% to 6.9%, supported by steady fuel prices and lower import costs. Right Honorable Speaker, this progress proves that sound policies brings real relief. Sound policies brings real reliefs. Mr. Speaker, both imported and local price pressures are now contained. Right Honorable Speaker, the task ahead is to sustain this stability by keeping fiscal discipline, boosting food security, and ensuring strong coordination between the fiscal and monetary authorities. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to fiscal performance. Mr. Speaker, 2025 marked one of Ghana's strongest fiscal turnaround in decades. The primary balance on commitment basis swung from a 3% deficit in 2024 to a 1.6% surplus by September 2025, exceeding the target and proving that discipline delivers results. Mr. Speaker, reforms in revenue mobilization and spending controls anchored this recovery. The removal of nuisance e-levy did not weaken revenue. Broader tax reforms and efficient gains lifted non-oil tax revenue to 8.7% of GDP, up from 7.8% in 2024. On expenditure, government tightened non-priority spending whilst protecting key investment in the sectors. Mr. Speaker, Treasury bill rates have fallen, saving 8.8% in interest from January to September. Mr. Speaker, 8.8 billion from January to September. Mr. Speaker, public debt dropped to its lowest in a decade, and Ghana's debt risk has been reclassified from high to moderate. These gains have created space for social and capital investment, eased external debt pressures, and restored investor confidence. Right Honorable Speaker, Ghana's fiscal consolidation is now credible, sustainable, and homegrown, a model of responsibility that turns stability into progress and ensures every city works for the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, I take you to social protection. Right Honorable Speaker, even as we pursue fiscal consolidation, government protected and expanded social spending to cushion vulnerable households. Allocations to social protection programs increased to 0.9% of GDP, up from 0.6% in 2024. Mr. Speaker, these targeted interventions reflect our conviction that economic stability must translate into social progress. Mr. Speaker, I will now give you an update on power purchase agreements, renegotiations, and other reforms in the energy sector. Right Honorable Speaker, when this administration took office, Ghana's energy sector was saddled with about $1.4 billion United States dollars in debt to independent power producers, a ticking fiscal bomb, I call it. Mr. Speaker, today, fiscal bomb, I call it. Mr. Speaker, today, that burden has been lessened. We have renegotiated all power purchase agreements led by Ghanaian experts at no cost to the state, saving over $250 million and restructuring 1.1 billion Ghana cedis over a four-year period. Mr. Speaker, government is now fully current on payment, clearing $300 million United States dollars in 2025 year to date, and allocating $345 million United States dollars for 2026. Mr. Speaker, for the first time, we are not accruing new arrests in energy sector. Solar tariffs, projects like BXC and Mineji have dropped from 18 to 6.5 cents per kilowatt hour, cutting costs and expanding access. Mr. Speaker, this was achieved as part of the renegotiation. Mr. Speaker, the Electricity Company of Ghana revenues has risen almost 90%, from 900 million to 1.7 billion Ghana cedis per month, thanks to better enforcement of the cash waterfall mechanism. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, ECG's revenue has improved by almost 90% per month, from 900 Ghana cedis per month to 1.7 billion Ghana cedis per calendar month. Mr. Speaker, I'll now give you an update on the audit of arrears and payables. Mr. Speaker, upon assuming office, government was confronted with outstanding arrears and payables totaling 68.8 billion Ghana cedis, comprising 50.5 billion in unpaid invoices and interim payment certificate, IPCs, and 18.3 billion in outstanding bank transfer advices, BTs. Mr. Speaker, in fulfillment of our pledge to protect the public purse and ensure value for money, we commissioned the Auditor General, working directly with PwC and EY, to conduct an independent validation of these arrests and commitment. Mr. Speaker, as I informed this August House during the media review of the 2025 budget, this special audit covered all verified arrests and commitment as at end December 2024. The objective was to establish the legitimacy of the claims, identify irregularities, and address the fiscal risk arising from the accumulation of these arrests and outstanding commitment. Mr. Speaker, the exercise has now been completed, and the Auditor General is finalizing his report for submission to Parliament. But Mr. Speaker, the findings are troubling and very damning. Very damning. Mr. Speaker, out of the 68.8 billion, Mr. Speaker, I'll give headline numbers whilst we wait for the Auditor General to submit the report next week. Mr. Speaker, out of the 68.8 billion payable submitted for audit, 47.8 billion cedis was validated. Mr. Speaker, an additional 8.6 billion Ghana cedis remains under review, pending further validation due to inadequate documentation, missing third-party confirmation, and lack of supporting document. Mr. Speaker, these yet to be validated claims may be legitimate, but further evidence will be required before they can be recognized. But Right Honorable Speaker, about 10.4 billion Ghana cedis in claims were rejected. The Speaker, due to duplications, recycled IPCs, inflated invoices, falsified stores receipts advice, and instances of no work but demanding money. Right Honorable Speaker, out of the rejected amount, about 1 billion Ghana cedis, comprising BTAs, bank transfer advices, that had already been processed by the Ministry of Finance and were ready for payment by the Controlling Accountant General and Bank of Ghana, were rejected. The Speaker, without this audit, these claims would have been paid, underscoring the importance of vigilance and verification. Mr. Speaker, about 2 billion Ghana cedis was also reclassified from claims to BTS. Right Honorable Speaker, the report is ready and it will be submitted and the detail may be discussed by this House. Mr. Speaker, this audit has not only saved the nation billions in potential losses, but also restored accountability, strengthen expenditure controls, and reaffirm this government's unwavering commitment to fiscal discipline and transparency. The Speaker, we have identified an abuse in the use of import declaration forms, IDFs. The Speaker, I'll give you the update. Right Honorable Speaker, our investigation into Ghana's import system exposed a staggering abuse of import declaration forms, a tool meant to support legitimate trade, but now hijacked for illicit transfers and tax evasion. Mr. Speaker, between April 2020 and August 2025, over 525,000 transactions amounting to an equivalent of $83 billion were processed through ICOPS. Mr. Speaker, surprisingly, this amount of $83 billion were transferred from Ghana in the name of imports. But surprisingly, Mr. Speaker, only 10,440 of these transactions were an equivalent of 31 billion IDF applications broke this limit, channeling an equivalent of about 20 billion United States dollars in unverified transactions out of Ghana. Right Honorable Speaker, this was not a loophole. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, this was not a loophole. It was an organized system for exploitation. In fact, an organized crime. Mr. Speaker, persons and institutions behind these activities are being referred to the Attorney General, Economic and Organized Crime Office, the FIC, and CID for investigation. Mr. Speaker, also, the Ghana Revenue Authority will establish a special recovery unit to reclaim all this lost revenue between this period. Right Honorable Speaker, government has since acted decisively. An interagency committee will now audit all imported related transfers going forward. The Bank of Ghana will also match every forest transfer with verified import data. The Speaker, we are drawing a hard line. Every dollar leaving Ghana must deliver real value for the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's public debt is firmly on downward path. Mr. Speaker, by October 2025, total debt had fallen from 726.7 billion Ghana cedis, or 61.8% of GDP in 2024, to 630.2 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent of 45% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, marking one of the sharpest decline in our history. Mr. Speaker, for the first time in over a decade, we have recorded a negative rate of debt accumulation from a positive 19.1% in 2024 to a negative 13.3% in 2025. Mr. Speaker, this turnaround reflects fiscal discipline, prudent borrowing, and stronger cedi, showing that Ghana's reforms are being measured, Mr. Speaker, and they are showing results. At home, domestic debt market has rebounded. Treasury bill have dropped by 1,600 basis points, with the 91-day Treasury bill at cedis in bonds coupons, restoring trust and market liquidity. Mr. Speaker, Eurobond prices are up by 17%, yield down by 300 basis points, and investor confidence is back. Mr. Speaker, Ghana has entered a new era of debt sustainability, anchored on discipline, transparency, and fiscal sovereignty. Mr. Speaker, I'll give an update on sovereign credit ratings. Right Honorable Speaker, all three major international rating agencies have upgraded Ghana's, affirming new faith in our macroeconomic management. In June 2025, Fitch lifted Ghana from restricted default to B-. Again, Moody's in October upgraded Ghana to CAA1. And Mr. Speaker, in November, a couple of weeks ago, S&P also upgraded Ghana to B-/B. Mr. Speaker, together, these upgrades marks a global vote of confidence. Ghana is once again credible, stable, and open for business. Mr. Speaker, I take you to monetary and financial sector performance. Right Honorable Speaker, monetary policy in 2025 stayed tight but effective, thanks to prudent management by the central bank and the governor. The Speaker, the Bank of Ghana cut broad money growth to 16.6% and base money to 4.5%, sterilizing 55 billion Ghana cedis to stabilize the cedi and lock in the lowest inflation in 4 years. Right Honorable Speaker, Ghana's external sector remained strong in 2025. The current account surplus rose to 3.2% of GDP from 2%, driven by robust gold and cocoa export, higher remittance, and strict import management. Mr. Speaker, a $2.1 billion United States dollar trade surplus and growth in non-traditional exports showed a more diversified economy. The Ghana cedi appreciated against the US dollar from 16.35 Ghana cedi to the US dollar in November 2024 to 10 cedi 92 pesos as at 10th November 2025. Mr. Speaker, this represents a rare appreciation of 35%, reflecting sound fiscal and monetary policy management. Right Honorable Speaker, this stability lowered debt costs and eased inflation. Gold and cocoa powered the recovery. Gold earnings rose 68% to 11.2 billion United States dollars. Speaker, cocoa rose 170% to 2.47 billion United States dollars, whilst oil dipped to 1.83 billion. Right Honorable Speaker, Ghana's rising export firms reserves, and a stable cedi confirms one thing, that Ghana's recovery is real, disciplined, and indeed lasting. Mr. Speaker, take you to sectorial performance. Right Honorable Speaker, The story of Ghana's economic recovery in 2025 is best told through the work of our ministries, departments, and agencies. Across every sector, from agriculture and industry to governance, infrastructure and human development, performance in 2025 reflects disciplined execution and innovation. Mr. Speaker, our task now is to sustain this momentum. We will boost productivity in agriculture and industry, accelerate infrastructure delivery, and strengthen governance and skills development. Ministers will present their outlook in detail, but the message is clear. Ghana is rebounding with purpose and rising with Speaker. The sacrifices made by Ghanaians over the past year have restored hope and confidence in our economy. Inflation is down, the city is stronger, and growth has regained momentum. Mr. Speaker, our fiscal strategy will match discipline with compassion. Our key fiscal policy priorities for 2026 are as follows. First will be to maintain fiscal discipline by sustaining a primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP on commitment basis. Speaker, the second is to mobilize domestic resources through continuous implementation of our medium-term revenue strategy. Speaker, will promote value for money and rationalize spending, ensuring that every city delivers value for citizens whilst eliminating leakages and inefficiency. And finally, Mr. Speaker, protect priority social spending in education, health and social protection to shield the poor and sustain human capital development. Mr. Speaker, in 2026, our monetary and exchange rate strategy will safeguard stability and drive growth, keep inflation low, the city strong, and confidence high. And that will be our monetary and exchange rate strategy. Mr. Speaker, the Bank of Ghana will stay data-driven and cautious, holding inflation within the targeted band of 8 plus or minus 2 and easing only when safe. Speaker, the central bank is doing a good job. Right, Honorable Speaker, to advance our medium-term macroeconomic goal of stability, resilience, and shared prosperity, government has set bold but achievable macroeconomic target for 2026 fiscal year and the medium term. Mr. Speaker, over the medium term, from 2026 to 2028, real GDP is set to rise steadily, averaging about 4.9% at the minimum. Non-oil GDP is programmed to grow around 5% at the minimum. So, Speaker, inflation will stay within 8 plus or minus 2% targeted band, reflecting a firm grip on price stability. The Speaker, the fiscal balance will remain strong, with the primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP from 2026 onwards. And right, Honorable Speaker, gross international reserves are expected to provide at least 3 months of import cover over the medium term. Right, Honorable Speaker, for the year 2026, we will achieve the following at the minimum. Real GDP growth of at least 4.8%, driven by continued expansion in infrastructure and service sectors, agriculture as well. Non-oil GDP, Mr. Speaker, at least 4.9%. End-year inflation for next year will be at least 8% plus or minus 2. Mr. Speaker, primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP on commitment basis in line with our fiscal responsibility framework to sustain discipline and debt sustainability. Gross international reserves of not less than 3 months of import cover, covering a strong external sector and a strong defense for the Ghana city. Mr. Speaker, Ghana's fiscal strategy over the medium term is to lock in stability and turn it into lasting growth. From 2026, government will sustain a primary surplus of at least 1.5% of GDP on commitment basis each year, anchoring fiscal discipline and debt sustainability. Mr. Speaker, revenue and grant are projected to rise from 16.4% of GDP in 2025 to 16.9% in 2026, reaching 17% by 2029, driven by stronger tax administration. Right, Honorable Speaker, our focus is on expanding the tax net, not overburden existing taxpayers. Mr. Speaker, expenditure growth will remain disciplined, rising modestly from 15% of GDP in 2025 to 15.4% in 2026. As a result, the fiscal deficit will narrow sharply from 2.8% of GDP in 2025 to 2% in 2026 and 2.1% by 2029. Mr. Speaker, in 2026, government will target a primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP, consistent with our fiscal anchor. The overall fiscal deficit on commitment basis is projected at 2.2% of GDP. On cash basis, the overall fiscal deficit is projected at 4% of GDP. Mr. Speaker, this fiscal stance balances consolidation with growth, maintaining discipline while safeguarding resources for productive investment under the Big Push Infrastructure Program and other national priorities. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to revenue mobilization for 2026. Right Honorable Speaker, in 2026, government expects to collect total revenue and grant of 268.1 billion Ghana cedis, up from 226.7 billion in 2025, a strong 18.3% increase. Non-oil tax revenue, the backbone of domestic mobilization, is projected at 216.1 billion Ghana cedis, growing on the back of improved compliance and enforcement. Oil and gas receipts are expected to contribute 13.6 billion Ghana cedis, supported by steady global prices. The Speaker, non-tax revenue is projected at 20.9 billion, with 18.2 billion retained by ministries, departments, and agencies to sustain essential service. The Speaker, additional inflows from SNET transfers and energy sector levies are estimated at 14.4 billion Ghana cedis, whilst development partners grant will add 3.1 billion to fund key projects. The Speaker, total expenditure on commitment basis for 2026 is projected at 302.6.5 billion Ghana cedis. Sector stability. Right Honorable Speaker, Ghana's 2025 to 2028 debt management strategy marks a decisive shift to responsible borrowing. With 93.5% of total debt restructured, 20.3 billion in domestic bonds, 13.1 billion in Eurobond, and 5.2 billion in bilateral loans. Mr. Speaker, Ghana is firmly on a sustained path. Mr. Speaker, the strategy focuses on cutting refinancing risk, reducing costs, deepening local markets, and boosting transparency. It revives the bond market, building liquidity buffers, and relies mainly on concessional financing from the IMF, World Bank, and bilateral partners. Mr. Speaker, benchmarks including short-term debt below 15%, treasury bills, and 20% of domestic debt and foreign debt capped at 70%. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to the meat. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to the meat. The fiscal policy measures, structural reforms, and key policy initiatives. Right Honorable Speaker, the choices we made in 2025 have restored macroeconomic stability, built trust in our fiscal institutions, and rekindled the hope of our country. The task before us now is to turn that stability into sustained progress and to make growth felt in every home, every community, and every enterprise. Mr. Speaker, the 2026 budget represents the next phase of our national renewal, a practical, forward-looking plan to consolidate the gains, accelerate transformation, and secure prosperity for all Ghanaians. It is the next chapter in building the Ghana we want, a nation that works around the clock, creates opportunities for all, and protect the dignity and dreams of every citizen. Right Honorable Speaker, permit me to reaffirm government 3 key priorities for 2026. First, consolidation of macroeconomic stability. Second, we will accelerate economic transformation and job creation. And finally, we will strengthen the security and social sectors for inclusive growth. Mr. Speaker, this budget builds on the stability of 2025 and channels it into action that delivers more jobs, better infrastructure, stronger industries, and better public service. Mr. Speaker, the budget moves Ghana from recovery to transformation and from promises to progress. Right, Honorable Speaker, let me now outline the core policy measures, structural reforms, and key policy initiatives that will drive this transformation, each one designed to deliver tangible results, reduce the cost of living, empower businesses, and create decent jobs. First, on the fiscal policy measures and structural reforms. Mr. Speaker, government remains steadfast in the commitment to restore and sustain fiscal stability as the foundation for inclusive growth. Our focus for 2026 and the medium term is to maintain a primary surplus of 1.5% of GDP on commitment basis. We are pursuing a disciplined, data-driven fiscal strategy, one that raises more revenue, spend better, and protect the most vulnerable while safeguarding long-term stability. Mr. Speaker, to achieve our fiscal target for 2026 and the medium term, government will implement a comprehensive set of revenue, expenditure, and structural measures underpinned by transparency and accountability. Mr. Speaker, on the revenue side, government will deepen domestic resource mobilization through the implementation of the medium-term revenue strategy. In addition, government will undertake comprehensive VAT reforms. Will also tighten enforcement of tax arrests and exemptions, ensuring that all eligible entities pay their fair share. Mr. Speaker, these measures are expected to lift non-oil revenue to 15.7% of GDP in 2026 from a projected 15.1% of GDP in 2025. Mr. Speaker, take you to VAT reforms. In 2025 budget and the media fiscal policy review, government made a firm promise to reform Ghana's value-added tax system to make it fairer, simpler, and more efficient. We pledge to remove distortions, addressing the cascading effect inherent in the VAT system, strengthen compliance, and create a tax regime that supports both businesses and fiscal stability. These distortions have negatively impacted overall welfare, increased the deadweight loss in the economy, and significantly reduced VAT compliance. Today, Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to report to this House that we have finally delivered on that promise. Mr. Speaker, after months of detailed analysis and broad consultations with stakeholders, we have completed the design of modernized VAT system fit for Ghana's economic transformation agenda. Mr. Speaker, government is therefore submitting to this House today and for approval, Mr. Speaker, a bold package of VAT reforms that will make our tax system more equitable, transparent, and business-friendly. Right, Honorable Speaker, the new VAT reforms will do the following. We will abolish the COVID-19 health recovery levy. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish the decoupling of GET Fund and National Health Insurance levies from the VAT tax base. Mr. Speaker, we will abolish VAT on the recognizance and prospecting of minerals. Mr. Speaker, we will reduce the effective VAT rate from 21.9% to 20%. Mr. Speaker, we will raise the VAT registration threshold from 200,000 to 750,000 cedis. Mr. Speaker, we will extend VAT zero rating on the supply of local manufacturing textiles to 2028. Mr. Speaker, for emphasis, we promise to abolish the COVID-19 levy. With the support of this House, Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to say that I'm happy to announce that today, COVID-19 levy is accordingly abolished. Mr. Speaker, by abolishing the COVID-19 levy, government is putting 3.7 billion Ghana cedis in the pockets of individuals and businesses in 2026. Mr. Speaker, these reforms will also reduce the cost of doing business by 5% as a result of subjecting GET fund and NHIL levies to input-output deductibility for businesses, Mr. Speaker. Altogether, the VAT reforms is expecting to give back nearly 6 billion Ghana cedis to businesses and households. We'll give it to you. Give it to you. 6 billion cedis that were exempted in 2015 from VAT registration are now compelled to register and charge VAT. This has placed an undue burden on small and micro businesses and also increased the cost of administering VAT. Right, Honorable Speaker, the increase in VAT threshold is expected to address this problem and make VAT administration simpler and easier to implement. So, Speaker, VAT on mineral exploration and reconnaissance has led to very little investment in minerals exploration over the past 2 decades. So, Speaker, abolishing VAT on minerals exploration and reconnaissance will revive investor confidence, stimulate greenfield activities, and ensure the long-term sustainability of the country's mining sector. Right, Honorable Speaker, this measure will promote responsible mining and help to mitigate the hazard mineral prospecting that degrades our forests and water bodies. So, Speaker, to support the domestic textiles industry, government zero-rated a VAT on supply of local manufactured textiles, which is due to end in December 2025. Government is resolute in supporting the domestic textiles industry, which has demonstrated a capability to expand when given the appropriate fiscal incentives. Mr. Speaker, in line with this and the Ghana Textiles and Garment Policy, government has decided to extend the zero rating to end December 2028, protecting over 2,000 direct jobs. Mr. Speaker, the VAT reforms will make Ghana a more business-friendly economy, create the opportunity for businesses and expansion, and to create more jobs. Mr. Speaker, we are not only seeking to change the policy and framework around VAT, we are also deploying electronic and digital solutions to improve VAT administration. Mr. Speaker, the measures proposed will include the following: the introduction of digital solutions to for tax collection system. The second is to introduce the fiscal electronic devices. The third, Mr. Speaker, the introduction of VAT reward schemes designed to encourage general public to assist with policing VAT revenues by collecting VAT receipt for purchases they make. Mr. Speaker, this will allow taxpayers to use their VAT receipt to benefit from a VAT promotion and reward scheme. Right, Honorable Speaker, these reforms mark a turning point in Ghana's value-added tax administration. They will make compliance easier for businesses, strengthen revenue mobilization, and enhance credibility of our fiscal framework for 2026 and the medium term. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Revenue Authority will roll out a comprehensive public education and awareness campaign to ensure a smooth and transparent implementation of these reforms. Mr. Speaker, it honors our pledge to lighten the load on honest taxpayers whilst building a strong, fairer foundation for national development. Right, Honorable Speaker, beyond the VAT, government will, ahead of 2027, embark on a comprehensive reform of Ghana's key tax laws, including the Income Tax Act, Excise Tax Acts, and the Customs Tax Act, to align them with global best practices, promote equity and competitiveness, simplifying compliance and enhance revenue generation. The Ministry of Finance will commence these reviews in 2026, engage stakeholders, and submit a draft to Parliament as part of the 2027 budget. Mr. Speaker, closing revenue leakages at the port. Right, Honorable Speaker, significant leakages at our port continue to undermine revenue mobilization. A recent audit revealed systemic weakness in classification, valuation, and cargo inspection. In 2024 alone, Ghana recorded imports valued at 204 billion Ghana cedis in cost insurance and fleet. Yet, only 85 billion Ghana cedis was taxable, pointing to misclassification and underinvoicing. To tackle this, government will deploy an AI-driven pre-arrival and cross-border shipping. Mr. Speaker, significantly boost customs revenue, enhance trade efficiency, and close long-standing revenue gaps. Mr. Speaker, on the expenditure front, we will continue to rationalize spending by eliminating low-value programs and streamline earmark funds, freeing space for critical priority projects such as roads, energy, agriculture, and education. Mr. Speaker, every cedi saved will be redirected to projects that create jobs and delivers tangible benefit for Ghanaians. Mr. Speaker, to achieve this and support the fiscal sustainability agenda, key expenditure measures for the 2026 fiscal year are as follows. The first will be that we will contain recurrent expenditures by capping non-essential expenditures such as foreign travels, workshops, and vehicle procurement, and elimination of low-impact programs. Mr. Speaker, we will rationalize earmark funds, reinforce commitment authorization, continue to strengthen social protection system by safeguarding allocation to LEAP. Mr. Speaker, we will prioritize capital investment in infrastructure, particularly in the area of Big Push. Right Honourable Speaker, on the structural reform side, we will pursue the following. Government will enforce sanctions under Section 96 to 98 of the Public Financial Management Act. The payroll validation exercise led by the Ministry of Finance in collaboration with the Controller and Accountant General will also be done. So, Speaker, comprehensive review and audit of the budget preparation and implementation process will be undertaken. We will implement recommendations from the comprehensive arrest and commitment audit by the Auditor General, aided by EY and PwC. Right Honourable Speaker, will strengthen fiscal discipline and accountability through the operationalization of Revised Fiscal Responsibility Act. Mr. Speaker, we will institutionalize quarterly expenditure reviews. Right Honourable Speaker, together, these measures will ensure that Ghana lives within its means, mobilize resources fairly, and spend efficiently. Fiscal discipline is not an end in itself. It is the bridge between stability and progress, between policy and real improvement in the lives of our people. Right Honourable Speaker, the real value of Ghana's procurement threshold has eroded over time, trapping even small projects in slow, expensive approval cycles. The Speaker, the last review was in 2016. Since then, inflation and currency depreciation have made it nearly impossible for district assemblies, for example, to deliver basic community projects efficiently. The Speaker, the government is therefore updating procurement thresholds under the Public Procurement Act to restore their values and match today's market realities. Right Honourable Speaker, years of inflation and weak oversight have drained real value from public spending. Too often, projects are overpriced, delayed, or abandoned because scrutiny comes only after money is spent. To fix this, government will establish an independent value for money office, a permanent guardian of efficiency, accountability, and fiscal integrity. Mr. Speaker, it will certify major projects before approval, monitor delivery, and evaluate results to ensure every cedi delivers measurable value. The office will enforce cost benchmarks, require public VFM certificate for contracts, and coordinate with the Auditor General, the Public Procurement Authority, and Internal Audit Agency to impose penalties for waste and fraud. Right Honourable Speaker, the Value for Money Transparency Portal will publish certified projects and citizen feedback in real times. Mr. Speaker, this reform will save up to 3 billion Ghana cedis a year, cut contract inflation, and rebuild public trust. Mr. Speaker, the Value for Money Office is not just another agency. It is Ghana's watchdog for prudent spending and real results. Mr. Speaker, we will be making the following amendment. Right Honorable Speaker, Ghana's petroleum wealth must work harder for its people. Since 2011, our petroleum funds have earned barely 1% annually. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, it proves that parking them only in low-risk foreign securities limits value creation. To change this, government would designate additional qualifying investment instrument under the Petroleum Revenue Management Act. This will allow a portion of the petroleum fund to be invested in commercial viable domestic energy projects, such as gas and power infrastructure, that would drive industrialization and jobs whilst improving long-term returns. Mr. Speaker, this reforms follows global best practices. Sovereign funds in Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, and UAE now channel savings into productivity investment that powers growth. Mr. Speaker, Ghana must do same. The new framework will maintain strict safeguards, transparency, and performance audit to ensure every dollar earns real value. Right Honorable Speaker, this is the mindset shift from passive savings and earnings to productive investment, from idle reserves abroad to energy that powers Ghana's future. Mr. Speaker, that is the way we are going to go. Our oil wealth must not sit idle. It must build and must build our country. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to public debt management initiatives and reforms in 2026. Right Honorable Speaker, 2026 marks a new phase in Ghana's public debt management, one defined by foresight, discipline, and innovation. After stabilizing our debt trajectory through strong fiscal performance and debt restructuring, government focus now shifts to building resilience. We are putting in place modern tools and systems to ensure that every borrowing decision supports growth, safeguards sustainability, protect the public purse for future generations. Mr. Speaker, one of the key priorities for 2026 is to strengthen restrictions in 21st February 2026. Government will re-enter the nation to process this additional gas for power generation. Government is fast-tracking the Ghana Gas Processing Plant. GPP2. So, Speaker, this shift means cheaper power, cleaner energy, and a stronger, self-reliant Ghana. Right Honorable Speaker, in the medium term, a total of 150 million standard cubic feet of gas per day will be produced by our OCTP and Jubilee partners, enough to generate up to 1,200 megawatts of power, bigger than Akosombo Dam. So, Speaker, beginning 2026, government will commence the construction of 1,200 megawatts state-owned thermal power plant to offtake the additional 1,150 million standard cubic feet of gas per day from OCTP partners and GPP2. So, Speaker, I repeat, beginning 2026, government will commence the construction of a 1,200 megawatt state-owned thermal power plant to offtake the additional 150 million standard cubic feet of gas per day from OCTP partners and GPP2. This plant will support the provision of reliable and affordable power and secures Ghana's energy future. Speaker, the 1,200 megawatts is bigger than what our almighty Akosombo can produce. Right Honorable Speaker, Ghana's oil production has witnessed consistent decline over the years. falling from 71.4 million barrels in 2019 to an estimated 36 million barrels in 2025, almost 50% decline. President Mahama has taken decisive action to reverse this trend. Mr. Speaker, government investor-friendly reforms have already secured over $3.5 billion in new investment commitment. This includes a $2 billion United States framework agreement for the Jubilee and 10 fields to drill 20 new wells, and a $1.5 billion United States memorandum of intent with OCTP partners to expand operations. Mr. Speaker, this new investor-friendly environment has also drawn the interest of oil and gas majors such as Shell in our upstream industry. This is expected to bring in new capital, technology, and expertise to increase our oil and gas production. Right Honorable Speaker, GNPC will commence drilling for oil on the offshore Voltaire Basin in October 2026. The prospects look good to expand Ghana's hydrocarbon production. Right Honorable Speaker, an upstream regulatory and fiscal review is underway to make Ghana's petroleum regime more competitive, transparent, and stable. Mr. Speaker, in 2026, government will roll out Rural Electrification Acceleration and Urban Intensification Initiative to achieve universal access to power. Mr. Speaker, through a faster turnkey model, it will connect every unserved community, boost rural economies, and drive Ghana's 24-hour economy policy. An electricity intensification program will extend connections to all remaining homes and businesses, ensuring that no Ghanaian is left without power. Mr. Speaker, the rollout starts in Volta, Oti, Savannah, and Central regions in 2026, expanding nationwide by 2029 with off-grid solar to remote areas. Mr. Speaker, electricity will be universal, reliable, and life-changing. Right Honorable Speaker, we will undertake feasibility studies on mini hydroelectronic potentials of the Volta, Red Volta, and other southern river systems. Mr. Speaker, through these coordinated reforms, from reviving the upstream oil and gas sector, securing gas supply, renegotiating IPPs, building a national power plant, expanding rural access, and reforming the operations of ECG, we are securing affordable and reliable energy for individuals and businesses. We are not just keeping the lights on, we are lighting the path for industrial transformation, job creation, and inclusive prosperity. Mr. Speaker, I will take you to agricultural sector initiatives. Right Honorable Speaker, agriculture remains the heartbeat of Ghana's economy, the source of food, jobs, and dignity for millions of our people. Mr. Speaker, our vision is to make Ghana's agriculture commercial, modern, mechanized, market-driven, and youth and women-led. The focus is on creating agro-industries across the country, dynamic hubs where production, processing, and distribution happens around the clock. Mr. Speaker, this is how we will feed our people, provide raw materials for our industries, reduce imports, create jobs, and make farming profitable. Once again, Right Honorable Speaker, in view of that, we have developed a national policy on integrated oil palm development. So, Speaker, government is launching the National Policy on Integrated Oil Palm Development, a bold plan to turn Ghana's red gold into a powerhouse of jobs, industry, and foreign exchange. Right Honorable Speaker, despite being one of Africa's pioneers in oil palm, Ghana still imports nearly 200,000 metric tons of crude palm oil yearly, costing over $200 million United States dollars. This policy change These policy changes that by expanding plantation, boosting refinery and processing will create about 250,000 jobs. So Speaker, the goal is clear. 100,000 hectares of new plantation, self-sufficiency in palm oil, and global competitiveness, and creating 250,000 jobs in the value chain. To unlock this potential, government will secure a large climate-suitable land banks through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources to ensure fair compensation, secure tenure, and full environmental compliance. This marks a new dawn for Ghana's agro-industrial transformation. Mr. Speaker, we are putting together a $500 million equivalent oil palm development financing window. Mr. Speaker, oil palm plantation development requires patience and long-term capital and not short-term loans. To meet these needs, government is establishing $500 million equivalent oil palm development financing window with the World Bank, DFIs, and our development bank. So, Speaker, it will offer long-term, low-interest financing, 5-year grace period, and cover up to 70% of project costs, targeting only sustainable, job-creating ventures. Right, Honorable Speaker, smallholder farmers will be at the center of this policy. Mr. Speaker, through our Outgrower Partnership Scheme, they will access improved seedlings, mechanization, credit, and guarantee offtake at a fair price. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Tree Crops Development Authority, Oil Palm Research Institute, OPRI, and the Ghana Exim Bank will provide technical support, research, financing, backed by smallholder support fund for women and youth to enter into this function. So, Speaker, the Tree Crops Development Authority will regulate production, whilst OPRI develops the high-yield varieties. A tax stamp regime for edible oils will be introduced to curb smuggling and protect local production. So, Speaker, together, these reforms will make Ghana self-sufficient, export-ready, and regional leader in sustainable palm oil by 2032. Right, Honorable Speaker, this policy is more than agriculture. It is a blueprint for industrialization, rural transformation, and shared prosperity. Ghana has the land. We have the people. This adds the vision. This adds the vision to turn every palm planted into a lasting prosperity. So, Speaker, we will establish farmer service centers. Right, Honorable Speaker, under the Farmer Service Centers initiative, the government will provide agriculture mechanization machinery for 50 agricultural districts with over 4,400 different machineries. So, Speaker, these machineries will include the following. So, Speaker, we'll be getting 660 tractors, 3,000 tractor trailers, 200 mini tractors, 200 mini tractor trailers, 200 mini tractor tillers, 200 mini tractor cultivators, 200 mini tractor plows, 200 mini tractor harrows, 200 mini tractor catabars, Mr. Speaker, 200 mini tractor mowers, 463 disc plows, Right, Honorable Speaker, 204 disc plows, 330 16 disc harrows, 1,000 kg mineral fertilizer spreaders, 104 row precision seed drills, 106 row precision seed drills, 132 row pneumatic seed drills, 300 800-liter boom sprayers, 50 combined harvesters, 50 maize headers for combined harvesters, and Mr. Speaker, will also provide 25 soil header for combined harvesters. Right, Honorable Speaker, our farmers always cried Mr. Speaker, our farmers have always carried Ghana on their shoulders. With this investment, we are returning the favor, giving them the tools, technology, and support to carry the nation into a future of food security and prosperity. 200 million Ghana cedis to Food Buffer Stock Company to purchase and store the excess food to protect the investment and income of our cherished food crops and poultry farmers. The Speaker, that will be processed ASAP. Right, Honorable Speaker, President Mahama has also directed that all schools from basic to secondary to purchase rice, maize, chicken, and eggs produced in Ghana only. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, President Mahama has also directed that all schools from basic to secondary schools to purchase rice, maize, chicken, and eggs produced in Ghana only. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Trust Fund, the School Feeding Program, the Free Secondary Education Secretariat, and the National Food Buffer Stores Company are accordingly directed to ensure strict compliance without fail. Mr. Speaker, I will now take you to the Big Push Infrastructure Program. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Big Push Infrastructure Program, launched under the leadership of President Mahama, is Ghana's largest investment in modern infrastructure, valued at the equivalent of 10 billion United States dollars. It is turning fiscal stability into visible progress by building roads, bridges, ports, and logistics. Mr. Speaker, in 2025, 13.8 billion Ghana cedis was dedicated to strategic road projects across all regions, guided by economic returns, equity, and alignment with 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, contractors are now on site on most of the projects. Mr. Speaker, these projects are expected to complete by May 2027, with payment assured within 30 days. Right, Honorable Speaker, within 30 days of submitting IPCs. Mr. Speaker, the goal is clear: connect Ghana end to end, making infrastructure the backbone of industrialization and opportunity, from farms to factories and from homes to market. Right, Honorable Speaker, following feasibility studies, two transformative projects have been added to the Big Push. Mr. Speaker, they are the Accra-Kumasi Expressway and the Achi-Amanfrom-Adoso Bridge. Mr. Speaker, let me now provide some details about these two iconic infrastructure projects. Right, Honorable Speaker, a flagship of the Big Push infrastructure program is Ghana's the Accra-Kumasi Expressway project, Ghana's first modern 6-lane bi-directional Class A expressway, stretching 198.7 kilometers. The Accra-Kumasi Expressway will link the capital to the Ashanti region through the Greater Accra and Eastern region, linking the south to the north. The Accra-Kumasi Expressway, which is on a new alignment, will reduce current travel distance by 50 kilometers, from 250 kilometers to 198.7 kilometers. Mr. Speaker, the Accra-Kumasi Expressway is also expected to have travel time. Mr. Speaker, the Accra-Kumasi Expressway project alone is expected to create over 30,000 direct and indirect jobs during construction. Right, Honorable Speaker, beyond mobility, it will stimulate industrial parks, logistic hubs, and service economies along its route, powering the 24-hour economy and strengthening Ghana's competitiveness. Mr. Speaker, the expressway will feature 8 major interchanges, each designed to ease urban congestion and improve regional connectivity. The interchanges will be located at the Accra Hub, Adesso, Esaman Kese, Achem Oda, Ofuase, Lake Bosumtre, and Kumasi. Mr. Speaker, for emphasis, the expressway will feature 8 major interchanges, each designed to ease urban congestion and improve regional connectivity. The interchanges will be located at the Accra Hub, Adesso, Isaman Kese, Achem Oda, Ofuase, Lake Bosumtre, and Kumasi. Mr. Speaker, it will also include 3 major bridges over the Birim and Pra rivers. Right, Honorable Speaker, the project will include 4 service areas equipped with emergency medical facilities, fire stations, maintenance and rescue centers, catering rest stops, fuel stations, electric vehicle charging stations, and parking lots. Right, Honorable Speaker, these facilities will operate 24 hours in line with our 24-hour economy program. Mr. Speaker, 2 modern 20-toll lane plaza, the Accra main line toll plaza and the Kumasi main line toll plaza will deploy automated systems to ensure efficient revenue collection and minimal delays. Mr. Speaker, the Accra-Kumasi Expressway will open up our dear country. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Adoso Echiamanfom Bridge and related road network will open up the farm prints to large-scale commercial agriculture. This is urgently required to unlock the agriculture and economic potential of the farm prince enclave. Mr. Speaker, government has also identified one of the major causes of food inflation to be bad roads linking food-producing enclaves to market. Mr. Speaker, as a result, government is announcing a 3-year program to construct 1,000 kilometers of agriculture enclave roads. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Agriculture Enclave Roads program will be implemented by the Department of Feeder Roads under the Ministry of Roads and Highways. Mr. Speaker, the roads will be carefully selected and constructed in food processing enclaves only with the support of the Ministry of Agriculture. Right, Honorable Speaker, this will ensure that food produced is transported from farm gate to market to reduce transportation costs, post-harvest losses, and enhance food security generally. Mr. Speaker, the Big Push Infrastructure Program is more than a construction drive. It is a nation-building vision. It will create thousands of jobs, empower local contractors, and strengthen linkages with domestic industries in agro-processing, manufacturing, and construction. Mr. Speaker, it is about connecting opportunities, linking people and markets so that growth is not confined to few cities, but shared across the entire country. Right, Honorable Speaker, through the Big Push, we are proving that Ghana can build its way into prosperity. One road, one bridge at a time. Mr. Speaker, this is the era of infrastructure. Ghana will not only build to recover, but will build to transform. Mr. Speaker, Ghana Airport Company will also introduce an airport development fee to rehabilitate Sunyani Airport, construct a new airport at Bogatanga, build a multi-purpose car park and a connecting concourse between the Terminal 2 and Terminal 3 at the Kotoka International Airport. Mr. Speaker, land and natural resources are the foundation of Ghana's wealth and future. For too long, our land system have been slowed. Opaque, our land administration system have been slow, opaque, and prone to fraud. Mr. Speaker, this is stifling investment and opportunities. Government has launched a technology-led land administration reform to bring forth transparency and speed to land transactions. Right, Honorable Speaker, every Ghanaian will soon be able to register, verify, and transfer land online, ending the era of missing files, corruption, and disputes. Mr. Speaker, to sustain this transformation, the Land Commission, working with the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, will retain all its revenue to fund a technology-led national land registry. Mr. Speaker, this will integrate land, planning, and property data on one secure platform. Mr. Speaker, this will unlock access to credit, boost agriculture business, and make land a catalyst for jobs. Land will no longer be a source of conflict, but a foundation for shared prosperity. Right, Honorable Speaker, Ghana is also protecting Ghana's forests. Government is also protecting Ghana's forests, rivers, and mineral wealth. So, Speaker, key water bodies and forest reserves have been declared high security zones, with 1,000 officers deployed and real-time tracking of mining equipment by Minerals Commission has been instituted. We are working with traditional leaders and communities to reclaim degraded land and restore ecosystems. Mr. Speaker, in 2026, government will partner with private sector to reclaim 10,000 hectares using fast-growing tree species. Right, Honorable Speaker. Government is positioning modern textiles and garment as a cornerstone of Ghana's industrial transformation. 3 new garment factories in Bono East, Central and Eastern regions will be established to operate under the 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, this will create about 20,000 direct jobs and boost community livelihood through private sector partnership. To strengthen local manufacturing, export of non-ferrous scrap metals and raw rubber will be restricted under the Feed the Industry program. Mr. Speaker, to strengthen local manufacturing, export of non-ferrous scrap metals and raw rubbers will be restricted under the Feed the Industry program. This will channel raw materials to domestic processes, support component manufacturing, and build stronger value chain in metals and rubber-based industries. Right, Honorable Speaker, 7 new agro-processing plants in the Northern, Central, Ahafo, Bono, Northeast, Bono East, and Western North regions will soon be fully operational. This will process yam, fish, poultry, cashew, rice, shea, and palm kernel oil, cutting post-harvest losses, generating 700 direct jobs, and providing reliable markets for thousands of farmers. Mr. Speaker, these initiatives mark a decisive shift from exporting raw materials and modern science resource centers for these new schools. Government will complete 30 of the abandoned e-blocks in urban and peri-urban areas and expand access for students in high-demand areas. Right, Honorable Speaker, government has also decided to enhance infrastructure and teaching and learning resources to improve outcomes at the basic level. In this regard, Mr. Speaker, Get Fund will construct 200 new junior high schools, 200 new primary schools, 200 new kindergartens, Mr. Speaker, Get Fund again will construct 400 4-unit teacher bungalows. And Mr. Speaker, 400 places of convenience in underserved communities and schools. Mr. Speaker, each of these will come with furnishing. This will also provide access to more than 200,000 additional students annually. Right Honorable Speaker, Get Fund will procure and distribute free comprehensive curricular-based textbooks covering the following: 4 sets of KG textbooks and workbooks for about 1 million learners, 4 sets of primary textbooks for 2 million learners, and 9 sets of JHS 3 textbooks for 1 million learners. Right Honorable Speaker, Get Fund will provide the following for secondary schools and some selected district education directorate. Mr. Speaker, Get Fund will supply 2 million pieces of metal mono decks and chairs, 200 unit 66-seater buses, 200 double cabin pickups, and 50 saloon cars. Right Honorable Speaker, President's economic diplomacy is yielding results. During his recent visit to China and Japan, he secured about $60 million United States dollars for the construction of a science and technology university in the Savannah region at Damango, Mr. Speaker, and a modern market at Aflao. Mr. Speaker, I now take you to the health sector initiatives. Right Honorable Speaker, health is the heartbeat of national development, and no country can build lasting prosperity without healthy population. The 2026 budget marks a decisive step in our national journey to reset, modernize, and expand Ghana's health infrastructure. So, Speaker, government will begin the construction of 6 new regional hospitals for 6 newly created regions, beginning with 3 hospitals in 2026 and 2 district hospitals at Bole and Shama. Mr. Speaker, also in 2026, government will complete 10 Agenda 111 hospitals. Mr. Speaker, in addition, we will continue the following abandoned hospital project. Mr. Speaker, we will continue the La General Hospital, Efiem Kwanta Hospital in Sekendi Takoradi Metropolis, Komfuanoche Maternity Block, and the Ashanti Regional Hospital in Sewua. Right Honorable Speaker, this project symbolizes our commitment to restoring trust and confidence in public health care delivery. Mr. Speaker, government will upgrade 7 hospitals to provide enhanced maternal and child health services. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, also known as the Mahama Cares, was established by the Ghana Medical Trust Fund Act to guarantee sustainable financing in the treatment of non-communicable diseases and specialized medical services. Mr. Speaker, too many Ghanaians battling chronic diseases such as cancer, hypertension, diabetes, stroke, and kidney diseases are forced to choose between life and livelihood. This goal is to build a health system that provides care for every Ghanaian, regardless of income or location, and to move decisively towards universal health coverage. In 2026, Mahama Cares will introduce a comprehensive NCD financing, non-communicable disease financing policy that defines eligible conditions, approved service lists, tariffs, and essential medicines. This will ensure that patients receive uninterrupted care without exorbitant out-of-pocket expenses. Mr. Speaker, diagnostics and treatment centers will be built on a PPP basis in all major hospitals across the country. This will provide testing and treatment facilities for all the key identified non-communicable diseases under the Mahama Cares program. Right Honorable Speaker, in 2026, we will retool the Ghana Armed Forces. Mr. Speaker, before I proceed, let me honor the late Dr. Edward Kofi Omaneboama, whose vision laid a foundation for the retooling of our armed forces. In his memory, Mr. Speaker, government will, from 2026, launch a comprehensive modernization program to strengthen the Ghana Armed Forces, Navy, and Air Force to today's evolving security challenges. Mr. Speaker, this program will upgrade logistics, equipment, and infrastructure across all services. Mr. Speaker, for the Army, government has moved to renegotiate the 80 million Elbit Systems contract to secure 19 armor personnel carrier needed to boost ground readiness. Mr. Speaker, for the Navy, we will acquire the 272-meter offshore patrol vessels fitted with helipads and modern combat systems to protect Ghana's maritime borders, offshore energy, asset, and trade routes. The Speaker, these ships will restore control over our exclusive economic zones and strengthen national resilience at sea. Right Honorable Speaker, for the Air Force, the procurement will begin in 2026 for 4 new helicopters and 2 aircraft to enhance airlift, patrols, and emergency response operations. Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, let me repeat. Right Honorable Speaker, let me repeat. For the Air Force, procurement will begin immediately in 2026 for 4 new helicopters and 2 aircraft to enhance airlift, patrol, and emergency response operation. Mr. Speaker, this retooling agenda will transform Ghana's armed forces into a modern, agile, and mission-ready defense force worthy of our sovereignty and the sacrifice of our heroes. Right Honorable Speaker, the Ghana National Fire Service lacks basic equipment to enable them function effectively in their duty to ensure public safety and to protect lives and property. Government will retool the Ghana National Fire Service with 100 fire tenders and assorted fire equipment. Mr. Speaker, government will also work with the private sector to bring in high-rise fire equipment. This will improve the effectiveness of Ghana National Fire Service to respond to emergencies. Mr. Speaker, I'll take you to water. Access to clean and safe sanitation is more than infrastructure. Indeed, it is a foundation of dignity, public health, and national resilience. Right Honorable Speaker, in 2026, we will intensify our effort with a bold and practical program to complete key water treatment assets across the country. Mr. Speaker, we will begin the construction of critical water treatment plants in Damango, Tamale, and Yendi to provide quality drinking water for the rapidly expanding populations in these 3 major cities of our country. Mr. Speaker, sports remain one of Ghana's greatest unifying forces and a powerful drive of youth development, community pride, and national identity. Yet, for far too long, large parts of our country, especially the new created regions, have lacked the facility to nurture and showcase talent. Right Honorable Speaker, the Mahama administration is determined to change this. Beginning 2026, government will commence the construction of modern sports stadiums in 3 out of 8 regions without sports stadiums. These new facilities will provide opportunities for young athletes to develop their skills, attract sports tourism, and serve as a training hub for regional and national teams. Beyond football, they will also support athletics, volleyball, boxing, and other disciplines that have long defined Ghana's sporting heritage. Mr. Speaker, we also take this opportunity to acknowledge the resilience and commitment of our Black Stars, whose qualification for the World Cup continues to inspire our nation. Right Honorable Speaker, in 2026, government will rehabilitate the National Theatre in Accra. We will also commence site acquisition and design of a second National Theatre in Kumasi. Mr. Speaker, We will establish film fund to revive the film industry, such as Kumawood and other film associations. Right, Honorable Speaker, we will also establish creative arts fund for the arts, music, fashion, food, and other creative sectors. Right, Honorable Speaker, in 2026, government will increase allocation to the District Assembly Common Fund to peoples living with disability from 3% to 5%. The Speaker, part of this amount will be used to acquire and distribute rechargeable motorized wheelchairs to people living with disability. The Speaker, the distribution will be done through the National Council for Persons with Disability. Right, Honorable Speaker, effective governance begins with evidence. That's what we cannot measure, we cannot manage. Mr. Speaker, the budget renews government commitment to building a data-driven economy anchored on accurate, timely, and transparent statistics. Right, Honorable Speaker, in 2026, the Ghana Statistical Service will be rebasing the GDP and CPI to better reflect today's economy. This will sharpen growth and inflation data, strengthen planning, and provide regional GDP estimates to guide local development. The new CPI will give truer picture of living costs across all regions. So, Speaker, I now take you to resource allocation, where the resources are going. So, Speaker, as we enter 2026, we move from stabilization to acceleration. This budget translates confidence into concrete investment that improves daily lives. Mr. Speaker, including the provision of better roads, schools and hospitals, reliable power, jobs, and targeted support for the vulnerable. Right, Honorable Speaker. What follows are the headline allocation that will drive delivery in 2026 and set the pace for medium term. Mr. Speaker, to unlock round-the-clock productivity, export and decent jobs under the 24-hour economy, we are providing an allocation of 110 million Ghana cedis in 2026 for the implementation of the 24-hour economy program. Mr. Speaker, we will be leveraging with the 24-hour economy program will be leveraging with GIF and DBG and provide private capital to keep financing largely off the sovereign balance sheet. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 2.2 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Right, Honorable Speaker, of this amount, we have allocated 245 million Ghana cedis for the Nkokon Ketsenketse and Livestock Program. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated another 200 million Ghana cedis to the National Food Buffer Stocks Company to purchase excess food storage. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 6.9 billion Ghana cedis, equivalent of 500 million, for the National Policy on Integrated Oil Palm Program between 2026 and 2032. Right, Honorable Speaker, to facilitate transportation of farm produce to market and reduce food inflation, we have allocated 828 million Ghana cedis for the construction of 1,000-kilometer agriculture enclave road for 2026. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 690 million to commence the operationalization of the Farmers Service Center. Right, Honorable Speaker, we have allocated 2 billion Ghana cedis for phase 1 of the Rural Electrification Acceleration and Urban Intensification Initiative in 2026 alone. We have also allocated an amount of 15.2 billion Ghana cedis for the energy sector shortfalls. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 4.8 billion Ghana cedis to pay down some of the IPP legacy debt as we have negotiated. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated an amount of 4.3 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Roads and Highways for road construction. In addition to this, Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 3 billion Ghana cedis to the Road Maintenance Trust Fund to construct 10 kilometers each in 166 constituencies in 2026 to keep roads more travel in our constituencies. Right Honorable Speaker, to strategically open the country, linking nations, national and regional capitals, we are allocating 30 billion Ghana cedis in 2026 for the Big Push program. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 33.3 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Education for its program and activities in 2026. Again, Mr. Speaker, aside the amount allocated to the Ministry of Education, we have also allocated 9.9 billion Ghana cedis to the Ghana Education Trust Fund. Mr. Speaker, we have provisioned an amount of 4.2 billion Ghana cedis for the free secondary education program. Mr. Speaker, to end the double track, we have allocated 1.1 billion Ghana cedis for the infrastructure programs I mentioned earlier. Mr. Speaker, again, we have allocated an amount of 537 million Ghana cedis for the no-fees stress policy. Mr. Speaker, that's not all. We have allocated 25 million Ghana cedis for free tertiary education for persons living with disabilities. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 3 billion Ghana cedis to be able to procure 4 sets of textbooks for KG books and workbooks for about 200,000 learners, 4 sets of primary textbooks for 2 million learners, 9 sets of JHS 3 textbooks for 500 million learners, and procurement of over 2 million pieces of metal monodecks and chairs, 200 units of 66-seater buses, and 200 double cabin pickups for the distribution to the secondary schools across the country. Right Honorable Speaker, we have also allocated 2 billion Ghana cedis for the construction of 200 new junior high schools, 200 new primary schools, 200 kindergartens, 400 KG 4-unit teacher bungalows, and 400 places of convenience in underserved communities. Mr. Speaker, to improve learning outcomes, we have allocated 157 million Ghana cedis for capitation grant. Right Honorable Speaker, we have allocated 1.98 billion Ghana cedis for school feeding program. We have allocated 292 million for free sanitary pads for girls. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 207 million for the teacher training allowance and 169 million Ghana cedis for BEC registration. Mr. Speaker, we have programmed an amount of 9 billion Ghana cedis in 2026 for national health insurance claim, essential medicine, bridging support, and free medical health care. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 2.3 billion Ghana cedis for the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, the Mahama Cares, to support Ghanaians battling chronic diseases such as cancer, hypertension, diabetes, stroke, and kidney diseases. Right Honorable Speaker, we have allocated 474 million Ghana cedis for nursing training allowances. We have also allocated 600 million to construct 3 new regional hospitals. Again, Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 79 million to upgrade 7 hospitals and provide enhanced maternal and child health services. Mr. Speaker, that is not all. We have allocated 100 million Ghana cedis to complete 10 Agenda 111 hospitals. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 1.1 billion Ghana cedis for LEAP program to protect the vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, to crowd in finance for women-owned micro, small, medium enterprises, we have provided 401 million Ghana cedis to fully capitalize the Women's Development Bank. Mr. Speaker, 400 million. Mr. Speaker, this is the minimum capital requirement needed to establish a standard commercial bank. Mr. Speaker, to scale skills for jobs at pace, we are allocating 170 million for the National Apprenticeship Program. Right Honorable Speaker, digital skills and SME competitiveness, we are providing 100 million for the National Coders Program and 160 million for the Dumawura Program. So, Speaker, We have also provisioned 100 million for monthly allowances to assembly members. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 8.9 billion Ghana cedis for the District Assembly's Common Fund, with a minimum of 80% of releases flowing directly to the District Assemblies to execute priority projects. Right, Honorable Speaker, we are repeating the 2025 guidelines for spending the 80% in the 2026 allocation going to the District Assemblies. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated an amount of 207 million for the rebasing of GDP and CPI and related activities. Again, Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 150 million Ghana cedis for the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat, NIMOS, for the activities against illegal mining and forest degradation. Mr. Speaker, government has allocated an amount of 20 million Ghana cedis to the film fund as seed money to revive the film industry, such as Kuma Wood and other film associations. Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 20 million Ghana cedis to the Creative Arts Fund as seed money for the arts, music, fashion, food, and other creative sectors. Mr. Speaker, that is not all. We have allocated 400 million Ghana cedis for the Integrated Recycling and Compost Plant Project, the IRECOPS. Mr. Speaker, an amount of 100 million Ghana cedis has also been allocated for the construction of fishing markets. Right, Honorable Speaker, again, an amount of 50 million has been allocated for the purchases of fishing net and outboard motors. We have also allocated 100 million Ghana cedis for the aquaculture development. Mr. Speaker, again, an amount of 500 million Ghana cedis has been allocated for district housing, including resettlement of the Akosombo Dam spillage victims. Mr. Speaker, an amount of 200 million Ghana cedis has also been allocated for the construction of mini stadiums in 3 regions. Mr. Speaker, again, an amount of 150 million has been allocated for the procurement of fire tenders and assorted fire equipment. And finally, Mr. Speaker, an amount of 150 million Ghana cedis has been allocated for the Black Stars to participate in the World Cup. Right, Honorable Speaker. Right, Honorable Speaker. The 2026 budget statement and economic policy of government is specifically designed to create up to 800,000 new jobs. Mr. Speaker, I repeat, the 2026 budget statement and economic policy of government is specifically designed to create up to 800,000 new jobs. The 63 billion road contracts under the Big Push awarded so far would generate an estimated 490,000 new jobs. Mr. Speaker, this estimation is consistent with the World Bank metrics on job creation from road infrastructure or road investment. Mr. Speaker, the 3 new garment factories will create over 20,000 direct jobs. 7 agro-processing plants will employ about 700 people directly and thousands more through supply chain. Mr. Speaker, national policy on integrated oil palm development will create 250,000 jobs across the value chain. Mr. Speaker, the farmer service centers would generate thousands in machinery operations, maintenance, and logistics. Right, Honorable Speaker, these investments are not isolated. They are part of an integrated national effort to turn stability into jobs and growth. Right, Honorable Speaker, government is putting real capital behind the private sector, which is the engine of jobs and growth. In this regard, we have capitalized the National Investment Bank and will capitalize the ADB and CBG with 1 billion Ghana cedis before the year ends this year. Mr. Speaker, the 400 million Ghana cedis allocated to the Women's Development Bank would deliver affordable financing to small businesses and enterprise, such as Labisi Adam, Prince Layovo, and Caroline Sphere, who I met during my engagement at the Takoradi Market Circle and the Kotokraba Market. Mr. Speaker, in agriculture, 1.7 billion Ghana cedis is being invested in roads, processing zones and value chains, value additions. Mr. Speaker, directly where jobs are created and livelihood are improved. Mr. Speaker, the new VAT and income tax reforms will cut businesses, will reduce business costs by 6% and free funds for expansion and job creation. Right, Honorable Speaker, we are building an economy where businesses can grow and employ more. Inflation is down, the city is stable, and the interest rates have fallen sharply. Mr. Speaker, together with reliable energy, fiscal discipline, and policy predictability, these measures are restoring confidence and drawing private investment back into the economy. Right, Honorable Speaker, job creation is not a slogan for us, but rather the purpose behind every policy, reform, and investment we make. Mr. Speaker, this is how we build the Ghana we want. The 2026 budget statement and economic policy. As I conclude, Mr. Speaker, let us take a moment to appreciate how far Ghana has come in just under 10 months. Mr. Speaker, the Mahama administration assumed office on the 7th of January 2025. We inherited an economy crippled by high debt, fiscal recklessness, high inflation, fast depreciating currency, low investor confidence, dwindling foreign direct investment flows, massive uncontrolled corruption that has become endemic, draining public resources and suffocating growth. Mr. Speaker, we also inherited high energy insecurity, high unemployment, and unbearable hardship for almost every Ghanaian household. Right, Honorable Speaker, Ghana was indeed at the bottom of the abyss, a nation in distress with its economy bleeding and its people weary, yet yearning for a government with a courage to turn this around. Mr. Speaker, through decisive leadership, bold reforms, and resilience of the Ghanaian people, we began to turn the tide. Mr. Speaker, the result speaks for itself. In less than a year, a strong, significant debt reduction, restored investor confidence, expanded social protection, better debt management strategy, and massive infrastructure development. Right, Honorable Speaker, this progress is the fruit of sacrifice and discipline. Ghanaians tightened their belt, businesses adapted, and government stayed the course. Barely a year ago, our economy was uncertain. Today, the cedi in your pocket is stronger. Prices are reducing, and new opportunities are emerging across agriculture, industry, and technology. Mr. Speaker, to our international partners and investors, we say Ghana is back, strong, credible, and open for business. Right, Honorable Speaker, the story of Ghana is no longer one of crisis, but a recovery and renewal. Mr. Speaker, the reforms we have undertaken are not quick fixes. They are the foundation of resilience, competitiveness, and inclusive economy. Right, Honorable Speaker, the Mahama administration is not just stabilizing the economy, it is rebuilding a nation. Our commitment to fiscal discipline, social equity, and sustainable growth remains firm. Mr. Speaker, we will protect the gains we have made, consolidate stability, and ensure that no Ghanaian is left behind. Right, Honorable Speaker, this budget is more than numbers. It is a message of hope. It tells every Ghanaian child, farmer, teacher, trader, and entrepreneur, that their sacrifices matter, that Ghana's recovery is real, and that their government is working tirelessly to build a fairer, prosperous, and self-reliant nation. Mr. Speaker, the storm has passed. The foundation is firm. The horizon is bright. Together, Mr. Speaker, under the visionary leadership of President Mahama, the nation builder, we are building the Ghana we want, a Ghana that works for all, thrives in peace, and stands tall once again as the beacon of Africa's renewal. Mr. Speaker, we are indeed resetting for growth, jobs, and economic transformation. Right Honorable Speaker, I so present. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You know this is the most watched budget.
KOFI Radio, the true radio for the Ghanaian and the Ghanaian abroad.
Traditional foods are used starch and carbohydrates. But true green food, starch and carbohydrates, kids way be very healthy. A woman who buy free to say diabetes, kidney failure, cholesterol, hypertension, cancer, any true green food or more breakfast options to say cocoa, Tom Brown, oatmeal, any true green food. Oh yes, our products now are 100% organic and natural. So we have to deliver my baby.
My chef and party planner. You know we can't get this retirement/birthday shindig go wrong.
Everything is almost ready, but small problem.
Why, what's up?
We are way over budget, Kweku. Everything is almost twice the estimate.
Alibaba, no worries. So with Tap Seng, I have got a cake and decorations covered from here. You handle the food. If any extra expenses comes up, just text me or call me. I'm off today, so I should be easily reachable.
Hey, Chairman, it is for day.
Say, no be easy. Chairman has time and money.
Would you do it?
Allah, Kweku tap, Kweku do, Kweku that.